Hi, everyone. This is our Sunday, February 19th show and tell. This show and tell program is highlighting our Posted with Love Valentine Card Exchange that was a cooperative project between our members. We had 15, I think, participants, include 16, including NEBA itself, and we all made cards to circulate among each other and also send one to NEBA so it would be in the archives. And we're going to show them today. So hopefully everyone's here and we have pictures, or we will be able to show on with the screen share or the computer their images. So we've got some really neat Valentines to show you. There's the whole group of them looking so pretty and arranged. It was a real range of things. There were some guidelines that the cards were all supposed to fit into a 5x7 envelope, which is actually 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So our cards that's what they had to fit in. And that was the limitation. And then we all made our own cards. And here they are. Do we want to go to our first person?
Yeah.
And this is Anya Gilmore, who's
Anya's
here. And Christine is going to explain Anya's concept and what she actually did.
So she made a lot more cards than actually, the numbers she sent to NEBA people. She sent them to a whole lot of people. And I think the idea when I first opened this and all the little confetti of all the cuts, so she saves all the cuts from each card and puts them inside the card. I was just like, oh no, it's making a big mess, was my first reaction, which I thought was kind of funny because sometimes you get glitter all over everything. And then I realized that the little shapes were just as wonderful as the card itself. And it took me a little while to take it all in. These are all the different designs. So every card she made, and these are just the whole series, ended up going maybe to 100 or more, are hand cut. Each of these are hand cut. And this is let's hurry up to love people is the expression that she has inside of it. The name of this technique, it's a traditional Polish folk art where the ornament is intricately cut out of the paper with scissors. It's called Wycinanki. Wycinanki. It's spelled very differently than that pronunciation. It's Wycinanki. So Wycinanki. It's popular from the mid 1800s, and the designs vary by region. And it's mainly created in the Kirby region and are usually all in one color. And then different regions sometimes have multicolors and layering and different kind of traditional kind of notions. But it's a rural Polish art form passed down through generations with popular themes like peacocks, roosters, circular or star-shaped designs, hearts, and flowers. And the ones that she sent to us have this back logo. She always is really great with the way she designs the front and the back of the card so that you really understand the technique. And it's got NEBA's logo on it, and it has her information. She's really smart in how she designs it. It's signed, dated, and numbered. And it says created for the NEBA 2023 Valentine's Card Exchange Project, posted with love. And then it has the typefaces mentioned as well. So she does a really great job with how she presents it, but each one is handmade done. And I tell you, you kind of have to really sit with them. I mean, you could see all the crazy designs she came up with, but you have to really kind of sit with them for a few minutes and not just be like, oh, it takes you a little while to realize like how much work this must have been. I mean, it's just mind blowing.
And I think it's fun to see if you can find yours, the one you received.
Yeah, they're really just stunning.
Beautiful.
You can see the ones down here with the like birds that have big areas cut away.
Yes.
That must have been really tricky.
Oh my gosh.
And there's one here with a little folk lady in the middle. Yeah, they're special. They really are.
Okay, I have a question about these. I'm not
Yeah.
understanding. This is one card with a bunch of little images?
No, this is a scan that she did of each card she made.
Okay,
So if we go backwards to the group set, you can see the card that she sent to NEBA up here in the top left.
okay, okay.
So that's the scale of them. Yeah.
I've got my card and I can show it to you as,
Let me stop sharing for a second, and that way you'll be back into the right. Let me put you in speaker here. There we go. I can show you mine too.
yeah. So
Ooh.
I got the one with the hearts, and inside she wrote,
Why don't you read that? Yeah.
well, it's in Polish, so I can't read it. I don't
You
know
can
if-
read what's beneath it and give the attribution. It has a translation beneath it.
Let's hurry to love people. And then on the back, it's got, you know, the colophon that has all
Yeah.
the information.
The rest of that line is they depart so quickly. Did you not have the rest of that statement on theirs?
Oh, let us hurry to love people. They depart so quickly.
That to me really struck a note, and it's Jan Twardowski is the I'm not sure if that's a poet or who it is. Yeah, that's some serious work. In this day and age of people using like Cricut machines and doing die cutting, you know, to think that that was done by hand is pretty impressive. And all the little bits are like super cute, like the cutaway hearts, or so your confetti is like little hearts and little wispies.
I have to admit, I threw away the confetti. It started to fall in my lap, and I gathered it up and I threw it away.
Yeah, I liked her. Let me just show you the backside as well. So you can really see that she's got the graphic designer in her is coming out here.
Always.
Always. Yeah.
Yes.
Such
My
style
own
and
graphic
grace.
designer.
All right, let me shoot back to the screen share. This is Anya is not here with us today because she's in Miami. The Tropic Bound fair is down in Miami, and Carolyn Shattuck is the only NEBA member with the table. But apparently, Anya and her husband Jerry are down there enjoying the beautiful weather. So here is her card set on the table. She took it with her because she knew that she'd be away for actually Valentine's Day, and she needed to like sit with it and really appreciate it and love on it. And she sent me a really lovely note in an email about how much she's interacted with her cards and how much they've improved her you know, attitude every day, you know, which is why I think was such a great idea to do this project. Yeah. When she left, she had not gotten my card. I was the last person getting the cards out, so mine may have not gotten there. I'm going to go ahead and do me next. Here I am with one of my big long silk vats. I had a silk marbling workshop, and I still had my vat set up. So instead of putting a small tray up, I just went ahead and did gigantic long ones, and like I could print 6 cards at a time across this surface, being long and thin. And you can see I've done what's called dropping stones, which is just dropping pipettes or just big drops of pigment down onto the surface. And then that's actually a chopstick in my hand, and I drag right through dots to make these long lines of hearts. I've been doing these patternations for a long time now. I call the series Amour Fou, which is French for crazy or mad love. And to me, it was just like these crazy swirls of hearts moving in and out of each other that sort of become suggestive in other ways too. And it just was very lovey-dovey. And I've made a lot of these sheets of paper with this material for a long time. And I found it very interesting to try to come up with a card idea that was something more than just purely putting the card across paper, which is what I ended up doing because the project idea got bigger and my days got fuller and it just wasn't getting done. So here is what I normally would do for a card. And I'm showing you technique because I want you to know about that white stuff in the upper right corner. Okay, so I don't use glue, wet glue, for a lot of these paper and book and projects like this, I use a product that's called Double Tack. It's a double stick tape that comes in a sheet or on a roll that you can cut to whatever your size you like. You peel off one side and put it down, and it makes this like a sticker. So in the top corner, you're seeing some paper that's cut to the right dimensions to go over the base of the card, which I put through my laser printer, which you're seeing in the foreground. I put that on the interior, and I only have black and white. So then I took a red micro pen and filled in the word, the initials of NEBA in red. So that's pen and a little bit of pen on just a laser printed card. And then I double tacked either side of the paper and just did a wrap to get the paper. So each one's unique because the sheets of paper are never the same, which is kind of nice. I had a whole lot of paper, so I decided that I was having these memories of childhood where you would do your school, I guess they would call schoolmate Valentines. You get the box and it was like maybe $3 or $4. It was cheap. It had little teeny cards with little teeny envelopes, and a lot of the time they had sticker assortments, and you could pick out which one you like, you know, Blue's Cruise or Mickey Mouse or whatever. So I don't know why, but I was thinking about stickers all day, and then I just decided to start making stickers. So I did the double tack on the back of this paper, and then used a simple punch that I have that makes the big circles. And I started to react to the negative shape almost as strongly as I did the positive shape. And so I stuck that down onto the card and wrote "Big Hugs, Christina" as a signature on the left-hand side of the interior. And then I gave everybody some stickers. I gave them stickers that were not only NEBA on top of that, but some NEBA stickers, just without having stuck them down onto the hearts. And I gave sometimes some negatives, and sometimes some of these negative framed ones, and sometimes I gave some that were just really spectacular. The way the punch happened to catch the heart was just like really lovely. So I usually put like 3 or 4 stickers in people's interiors, and I liked the idea of NEBA love, because we're doing something bigger here than just sending some Valentine's Day cards and having some fun with each other. You know, we are still building and nesting this precious egg of NEBA that we have, right? And I feel very strongly about it. And getting the grant from the Mass Cultural Council and finally being able to afford doing more outreach and paying for, you know, book fair fees to be able to have those tables and get the word out there at places that are bigger that might cost more than $45 to have a table, you know. So us doing more and spreading the love and really trying to make an impact is part of what I wanted my card to say too. So I kind of really wanted to put some NEBA love into mine in a little bit different way than just making, it. So let's see, let me go to the next frame. So here you're seeing me apply that, just a couple of angles of views.
Just so you know, Christina, the Posted with Love page there transferred a bit in my case.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
In the shipping?
Yes.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, I just want you to know.
Yeah, I mean, laser is usually on there pretty good usually.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Anyway.
The red of the Micron pen didn't do anything, did it?
No.
Yeah. I did send one to myself because I wanted to like see how that worked out, but I haven't even opened it yet. So it's just sitting here. Maybe it transferred in mine too. That's too bad.
It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just good to know.
Oh, it did. It did transfer some. Oh, well. So did some of the imprints from the stickers.
Yes, it went back and forth.
Yeah, interesting.
But those things are interesting learning.
It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
No,
it's a handmade thing.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a good thing.
It makes it very handmade.
Yeah, excellent. All right, let's see who's up next. Okay, Gail Hansen's piece is up next.
Oh, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm glad I did it. And I used a lot of some old images that I silk screened on, like on the cards, which was like the chicken and the hamster. And then I got to practice my I don't know, do you call it pochoir or
Yeah.
is that how you pronounce it?
Uh-huh.
I got to practice some of that. And I did a few pop-up cards because I'd taken a little class with Stephanie Stigliano. And so I just sort of did all those things that I'd learned. And there's a little like paste paper behind there, and there's some marbled paper here
I
and there.
noticed the marbling. Yeah.
And yeah, so that was fun. I really liked this project.
I enjoyed my chicken card especially. I'll show you the chicken card in a second. Tell us about these as well.
I took a one evening online class through the Morgan Conservatory with Stephanie Wolf, and it was all about weaving, and what I found is these were simple to do, but each time I did them exactly the same, they came out different, and I have yet to figure that out. But
So it's a diagonal weave. Is that what's happening here?
yeah, you cut the diagonal slits in two items, and then you just weave it. And for some reason, they all came out slightly different, even though I thought I was doing exactly the same thing. But that aside, and then of course the hand is my own hand that I just traced.
Very cool. I like that a lot. I'm going to stop the share again here. And
I want to show the one that Gail sent me because it's not part of that.
I got the cool chicken. Love the cool chicken. And I just wanted to show the interior. This light is so bright. Let me pull back a little. The interior is a pocket that has like another little thing that comes out of it.
That has little like chickens also.
Yeah, matching little heart chickens. And the back side is the butt of the chicken, and he's pooting hearts out. Did you intend him to be pooting hearts?
Yeah, it seemed to work. So like
through and through.
So what I would have done is silk screen the image onto a card and then colored it in with color pencils, and then sort of add the hearts.
And Gail sent me this little accordion.
Oh my goodness, look at that one.
Has little pockets with little prints of shoes that come out of the pockets.
Dang, I am jealous. I love my chicken though.
Yeah.
There's all these little shoe images, and they are as cute as they can be. And I don't know how she knew, but I was a big shoe lover in my younger days.
Well, it's like shoes are, I can draw shoes and I can draw purses, but I can't, but that's about it. So
wallet. You can draw a wallet, right? Did you draw a wallet?
No, that was an image I got out of a dictionary.
Oh, okay.
So
very cool.
I can't wear nice shoes anymore because I have old feet, and I think a lot of you know what that means.
None of us can wear them anymore.
And I used to have this wonderful collection of shoes, and now I have them back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gail.
Oh, you're welcome, Ben. I used to have cool shoes too, and now I have a whole bunch of identical, like, orthopedic sneakers.
I know. Yeah. I was
I
hard
got
on
a lot of Aunt Janet's shoes.
Yeah. And they're horrible.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
And don't forget to rotate them, Christina.
I have been. I've been taking your advice and changing and wearing different shoes during the day, changing up.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I swear. It's a very valid concept there. I'm going to hop back into the screen share, and we're going to let Suzanne's come up next here. So you might want to turn yourself on.
All right. So thank you for spotlighting me. So this was, this project took a long time. for some reason in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, no big deal. Just, crank them out in a day, but it took me at least a month working on
Cool.
these all the time, but it was really fun. So the pieces, the hearts come from papers that I jelly plated and then just made a stencil. So they were all about the same, cut them out. And the back is just plain cardstock of different colors. And the little fringe around it is crepe paper that I folded in half and then cut into fringe. And then I hot glued everything together. And then some of you might not know, but the little flame at the top actually comes out. And there's
I think a lot of people might not know that.
yeah.
I had to be told.
Oh yeah, I figured, and I thought, well, I could put directions on there, but then I was like, I'm gonna see you guys and figure it out. So there's just a little, it just pops out. There's a little sort of flame with a little heart on it, and then an eyeball on top of it. And
What's the backside look like of that?
the backside, this one in particular is just
A
yellow.
little pop out,
cardstock.
backside of the pop out.
Oh yeah, the backside. Oh, the backside of the pop out is just plain. I
thought mine
originally
had something on it.
Well, I
Yeah.
originally was going to put the message on there, and then it was just too tiny, and I don't have good handwriting to make things that small. But it came in a little bag, and then I made the envelopes too. But I was a little worried about the envelopes going through the mail. Here's one all folded up. So I put them in another envelope. So you guys had an envelope, a bag, and inside an envelope, and then a little pull-out thing.
You got the
and the-
award for the most complicated packaging.
I know, seriously. Pretty unintentional, but and then it just says, I never think about, oh, I should put the little NEBA logo on it or anything like that. So I gotta get into the habit of doing that. So I just decided to write the Happy Valentine's Day on the back. But here's another one from home. But yeah.
So what did you make, 16 or 17?
I don't know. I have 2 extra here at home, so I
Oh.
don't know how many I made.
You might have made 18.
I probably did.
Nice.
Because then I kind of picked and chose, I didn't use all of the hearts I cut out or whatever. I chose the ones that I kind of like the best. But yeah, it was fun. It was great getting the all the Valentines. It was really like something to look forward to, and it was so fun. Everyone's is so different. It's just great. I've got them all here if anyone wants to see any of the other ones as we go along too.
Did mine come before Valentine's Day? Christina's?
It did for me.
Yeah, I think it did. I think
Okay,
it did.
good. Yeah.
I'm not sure if
pulled
I've
that
gotten them.
out.
I don't know if I've gotten them all just yet, but I think I almost have them all.
And
Here,
here's a
so-
shot of the envelopes. Each of you, it looked like to me, each of your envelope backings were a little bit different too, right?
Yeah, the envelopes were all different kind of shades of red and pink, I think, and then they all had different stickers sealing them. But like I said, I was thinking I didn't want them to get stuck in the meter machines at the post office and never get to anyone, so I put them in those
Yeah.
other little envelopes. So
That
yeah,
is a concern, no doubt.
yep.
All right, Carolyn.
Well, I saw this heart pop up on on someone who makes books, mostly miniature books, on Instagram. And I thought, oh, that'll be easy. I can cut out hearts, because you fold the paper and you make the size, and I have a bunch of marbled paper, and once I made one, I was able to do it production wise. But oh my gosh, it was 2 solid days of making, like 2 solid 8-hour days of making, and I only made 15 because I ran out of different papers. So You want to go to the next screen?
Yeah.
Because I just wanted it to say Valentine Day is for, and then you open them up, open hearts. So each one of the, I had two kind of groupings. And the first slide that you showed, Christina, had, that was the first grouping. It was dark red marble paper and very pink paper. And that was a real easy thing with the negative positive. When I cut out the inside of the hearts, then it was negative positive. The covers ended up being some paste paper, and those hearts were cut out separately. And I decided that they needed something, the bar that's on the left, just some kind of interesting texture. And I had this handmade paper that I've had for years. I didn't make it, but it has flower petals in it, white. And I used those. And the one in the middle, I used mulberry paper and covered it. Most of it was spray mounted to adhere, but the fold-in ones, if you go back to the one with the blue, yeah, I had to use matte medium so that I covered some of the paper, and then where it's adhered, excuse me, I had to use matte medium. So it became a really, you're gonna have to.
Yeah, that's okay. So with the matte medium, obviously drying time and buckling and issues like that might be a lot more trouble. And St. Maurice, we're gonna pull you out next.
Well, I have this book that I've been obsessed with. It's a Dover publication about it's 500 woodcuts of Renaissance clothing, and they're just beautiful. They're just all really interesting. There's a whole bunch of them in there. They're all great. And I've been planning a really serious, somber book using them. And then they suddenly seemed really appropriate for these Valentines. So I started picking out my favorites, and then made really tiny, little eensy origami hearts. Did some paper tearing, and just made these, I thought, really cheerful, sort of Gothic people wandering in the snow with a balloon, the heart-shaped balloon on a string. So it was just it became very lighthearted for something that I'm still working on, the serious book, but they popped their heads up in a very cheerful way for Valentine's Day.
I really enjoyed, I'm gonna stop the screen share for a second and hold mine up, because mine's different than this.
They're all
lady.
different, yeah.
Oh, everybody's is different. Okay,
Yep.
I didn't know if you like Xeroxed this or did a scan or something. Let me.
Yeah, you
So
got
he's
one of the
got
little
this like
Pasha
crazy
guys.
turban. He's
It's a
fun.
darling book. They've got all kinds of, they're from all over the world. I mean, the Asian ones.
He
And Far
looks
East.
a little confused. I don't know if we can get in closer on him. His eyes are looking to the side a little, and he seems like he's a little confused about like, what the hell is this heart-shaped balloon thing flying out of me? And I did like it says, love lightens the heart. So here's the back side of her card. And it looks to me as if, I don't think I will, because I want to keep it obviously, but it looks to me like if you really felt like it, you could actually mail it to someone else.
Yep.
So
Still
it came in an
functional.
envelope initially.
Yeah, it's still a functional postcard, and
Yeah.
I had the envelope to everyone.
Yeah, very nice.
Balloon is folded,
Yeah,
and is that like an origami thing, or what's the story
yeah,
with
it's
the
a really
folding?
simple little 3 or 4 fold little heart, and then I glued it. Once I folded it, I opened it up and I glued it shut so it would stay. I didn't want it coming loose in the envelope or getting ripped, people cutting the envelope open, so I just glued it flat. But it's just a tiny little 2 or 3 fold heart.
Yeah, they're very darling. That's
And all the origami papers for each one is also different on most of them.
yes. Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, hi. This was really fun. I thought it was a chance to try my new provisional press, which I bought and my husband glued together. Um, okay. And so that's what I bought it because I really wanted to print Legos, which it turns out I could just print Legos on my press. But I wanted that little cute provisional press because I just love the idea of making some Legos useful. So that's that. I printed that on the envelopes. My sister sent me some, oddly, sent me some doilies that were my parents. They were Kelly green, and I don't know what I was supposed to do with them, but I thought, oh, that would make a nice border for the Valentines, but it was too big, so I had to cut it apart. And so I did jelly prints of that. I had these 2 blocks of woodcuts were from a project I did years ago, but I saved the blocks. It's a radish with the leaves, and then I printed this with like I guess it's a rainbow roll or a split fountain, sometimes it's called. So it's got red on the bottom and then kind of goes to a yellowy color, and this was green. I took out the D and stenciled in a V. So that was that. And oh, can you go to the next one?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, oh yeah, so one thing I had to do, there's not an image of it here, but I did a photocopy transfer. Oh, for the next one there.
You may go down to the next one.
Yeah, because so this is a photocopy transfer, and some people got an insert because I used this really strong smelling essential oil. I don't know if when you opened it, you got like this overpowering aroma. I don't know if you did, but
Oh,
did put a little.
I didn't notice a smell, a distinct
Okay.
smell, but it
Well,
was
the-
nice for you to give us the reference of what it was that your technique was done in.
Well, I just thought, what if someone's allergic? What if they think, whoa, am I being poisoned? What is this? Because it was very strong when I did it, and it's very
I don't
lingering.
see it right here in front of me. What was the name of the product?
Oh, I don't know. It's some essential oil with lemon.
It's called aromatherapy. It's called aromatherapy mental clarity, 100% pure, natural. And then I can't read what else it says, but at the
So
bottom
just-
it says essential oil.
Yeah, just to let people know that they wouldn't be poisoned, that it was just kind of a nice smelling thing in a small.
Do you want to explain a little teeny bit about how to make a transfer with text?
Oh,
Just
sure,
briefly
sure.
for those who don't know.
Yeah, so it used to be done with solvents that were very toxic. Xylene in particular worked great, or blender markers, but they smelled really bad and were toxic. So this, the definition for ravish, which I only chose one of the definitions, number 3, which is to transport with joy or delight in rapture. And I just played with it a little bit on the computer so that it was like blowing in the wind or being twisted or whatever. And then I flipped it, mirror image, and printed it. I have a laser printer, so I was able to do the transfer. And when you do that, you take some sort of solvent, or you can use any essential oil, and then apply it with a Q-tip on the reverse side. Just let it dry for a little bit, and then rub it onto the paper. And what the solvent has done is it's released the pigment. So you can use laser because it's got actual pigment. You can't use dye, like a dye or inkjet for that. Yeah, so
You can do it
works
from
really
a Xerox, right? An old
If
version of
it-
the Xerox it depends on the style of the
if
Xerox,
it's
right?
if it's a pigment, basically, if it's like powdery or
Yeah.
carbon, you can, but if it's dye, you can't. And that's why I just got the laser printer,
Yeah.
so I could do that myself. Anyhow, so that's that. It was pretty fun, and I really enjoyed making them for everyone.
Yeah, I liked it too. It's got a lot going on technically. I'm gonna go back to the first one again. So you really busted your hump on this. So you've got 2 wood carvings And then what is the V made out of?
So, I had a job in North Carolina painting lampshades, and I learned how to stencil.
Okay, so you made a
stencil.
stencil.
Yeah, so it's just a cut stencil. It's really fun to make stencils and use a stencil brush for them. So that
And
was
what kind of pigment?
I think I used Akua because it's
Yeah,
has a nice pigment. It's has yeah, and I think that's what I used also for the woodcuts, which I already had, as I said, for another project, but it's nice to give them another chance since that was a while ago and people hadn't seen them.
yeah, very cool. I'm gonna give Susan Marsh a little longer, and we're gonna go back for a second here. Since I'm not looking at the gallery view, who is here that I don't have images from you, but we can, Gail Samuda. Why don't we go to Gail Samuda? I think she's here. Right, Gail, are you here? You want to
So,
tell us a little bit more?
yeah, I had made a bunch of the wonderful little pouches, and then just never really knew what to do with them. So when I found the proper scale, that inside of this are little paper dolls. And so I had the paper dolls, and I don't know what clothing is in this particular one, but oh, there's a hat. And I think there's some other clothes in there for her.
Mine has two hats actually, and a
Yeah,
little dress.
it's very abstract as to what different
Oh,
people
wait a
got.
minute,
They
she's got
just,
something else too. You got to excavate down into your little pouch to really see
yeah,
what's
you
in
have to
there.
kind of pull them out.
Cool.
Oh, I've got a dress.
I've got two dresses. One has got like a little apron on it, like maybe she was doing chores, had to do chores that day. So
I
you
got
had
it.
already made the little teeny pouch.
I had made the pouches, but then I ended up covering them with the fabric that had the hearts on
Yeah,
it because I had used other paper to make the pouches themselves. And so
yeah,
like in this case, she has a hat that actually matches her dress.
very cool.
But the fun part was that the paper dolls were the perfect scale to fit inside the pouches.
So this little girl is a fashionista.
Pretty much.
Yes. Mine has two little outfits
Hmm.
and two little hats. And I think that they're kind of similar tonally. They could go either way.
Hmm.
But she doesn't really look like she's, I guess, would you consider her to be in her skivvies? Is that when she's the base? Is that like her underwear? Do you
Yeah,
think?
yes,
She
it
has a
is.
slip on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
very
Look,
fancy, but a
Wearing
slip.
Yeah. Oh,
So
her
I
little
just like the
ringlets. She's
idea.
got little ringlets.
My understanding is I made 4 extra ones for my family, and I understand my one granddaughter just went totally nuts over the paper doll. So
Cool.
yeah, she really liked it.
That's tough cutting as well, what you did.
Oh yeah, it's all by hand, obviously.
Yeah. And they're little. These
Yeah.
are tiny.
And everybody got it several pieces, whether it was a couple hats or dresses or whatever, but each one of them got a different set of clothing.
Well, I love her. She's super cool.
She is very darling.
And I love how much textile based stuff is going on here. So you've got 3 different kinds of ribbon involved in the actual heart piece itself. So
Right.
you've got like a little loopy area for the pouch to tuck in, and this lacy piece. Oh, and they're
Right.
all different too. And then on the inside is another, looking backwards here. This side has got ribbon and then your signature. And then you've got a secondary signature in your little stampy thing that you do on the
Right.
bottom.
Right.
Very cool.
Interesting thing about these, when they were mailed, the next day I received a package of 4 of them with elastics holding the 4 of them together, and they were all stamped with not enough postage. So I doubled the postage on them.
Yeah.
Other half never returned. They were mailed. So since they're all exactly the same, I'm not sure why half of them didn't have enough postage, but half of them did.
That's curious.
Yeah.
Strange.
I have a contract for my clients that I send out that's in a large 6x9 envelope, and sometimes it doesn't require the bigger postage, and other times it comes back on me. Like
Yeah.
there's like the first stamp and then the extra whatever, the
Right.
bigger stamp. It's the exact same number of sheets and the
Yeah.
same every single time, and I don't know why, but it does that too.
Right, but
And Chris,
it struck me really funny because they were delivered back to me as a package.
Huh.
I have no idea.
There we go.
there you go.
Sorry.
Here's the front of my card.
Yours
And
was
here-
probably hidden in the pile that I showed at first. It was
Here's
in
the
there
back.
because I definitely received it. It was lovely.
Here's the back. I just sort of cut and pasted and made, I didn't sign it with my signature, but I wrote Valentine Project, my name in 2023. I love books, and this is a bookbinding organization. So I made you all a little book and with a heart, and I wanted you to know it was a bookmark. So I made a little sort of book kind of with some holes inside to kind of deliver this bookmark to you. So I had a lot of fun doing these. I wouldn't say it took a huge amount of time, but I started early and I sort of did one stage. So I made all these little books first, and then I thought, well, how can I deliver them to you? And then I thought, well, if I make a little sort of a book and I put it in there, maybe you'd get the message. And then I decided I would, put the book on a card. And anyway, so I sort of cut out all the components and put them together. And I did the same as many of you. I made a complete edition, including myself. So when I posted them all at the same time, I got one and I sort of thought, well, okay, everyone else is getting them around now too. But this has just been so fun. Thank you ever so much. And I can't wait to do whatever project is next, like Easter eggs or I don't know what. But anyway.
And
thank you.
We'll come up with something.
You gave us an interim by showing us all the little cutout hearts that you made. I think, was that on Instagram?
I sent that to somebody saying I'm excited about this project, and I had them all lined up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just so fun, and I chose, sort of papers that I liked. I didn't make any of these papers. I thought about that too, but anyway, this is just what I came up with, and I hope you enjoy your bookmarks.
It's
I
darling.
enjoy your building books book, box book, building box book. I don't know what to call it. It's like a structure more than what you would typically associate with a book, which is why I love it. It's a really nice piece.
More
So
to
if you
come.
guys, yeah, I spotlighted it recently on Instagram. So I don't know if are you on Instagram?
No,
Yeah.
but anyway, thank you.
It's on Facebook too. So if you're on Facebook, you can see it there too. So everybody has some nice views of that as well. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
You
Thank
are
you.
And I
welcome.
loved receiving all of your Valentines. And my theory about the paper dolls, maybe one outfit was a little more than another outfit. The extra hat, you need the extra bag,
Yeah.
the extra hat.
I
Anyway,
did it
thank
on
you
paper
ever so
dolls
much.
too.
And I look
Excellent.
forward to seeing you all again online. And also I plan to go to Portland on the 1st of April. So thank
Oh,
you.
great. I'm going to be there as well. I hope a lot of people end up coming. The next day is the Book Arts Bazaar. So I'm going to be trying to figure out like someplace to stay. So we'll definitely be there for the weekend. So nice.
I don't know. We have a friend near Portland, and I sent them a card, and I'm hoping they'll extend an invitation. So
That
we
would
may be
be
there
lovely to
overnight.
have a
If we
place to
are, I'd be
stay.
happy. I'll be in touch with you directly. But if I'm there on the following day, I'd be happy to be of help. Thank
Great.
you.
Great. Okay, so we're going to open it up and then up, and it's got some nice collaging, and it says, "All you need is love, XOXO." It looks like a whole bunch of collaging going on here with different interesting patternation. Some of it looks like it's like an acrylic base with gold paint going across, maybe those micron pens in gold and silver. But really nice, let me come in really tight so you can see the collage elements. It's a whole lot of collaging, so it's very minute. And then the back, it says, it's got her name. No, this is not Lorraine. This is
Oh, this is
Susan
Susan
Libby's.
Levy.
No wonder. Okay, she's here, I believe. Are you here, Susan? I saw her earlier. Oh, did she must have
Somebody had
left.
to leave early.
She had to leave early. This is not Lorraine's. This is Susan
Susan
Levy's.
Levy.
Okay, my apologies. Yeah, I'm reading the signature. I thought I knew them all by heart because I've looked at them so much. Yeah, and then it just says like February 2023, NEBA Valentine Exchange on the backside, written in handwriting. Lovely little gatefold. So it keeps opening and opening. I like an interactive piece. I think that's really cool. Here's another one that every single person got a different one. So I can show you. Barb Fitz Elliott is her name. She's a fairly new member to NEBA. I'm going to pull back so it's not so bright, but you can't really tell. These are all individually done. So there's a whole lot of Zentangle there. That's a little bit easier for you to see. That's a ton of Zentangle going on. And then she's bedazzled it with some like rhinestones. And then there's just cool tape along the sides. And then you open it up and the inside has a little handmade book that's got like a pamphlet stitch here. And it says Happy Valentine's Day, Barb 2023. And then you open it up and it has stickers and more things on the pages on the inside. And this says life is better with book artists, which is a really wonderful sentiment.
Mine says at the heart of it all, we're book artists in her little book.
And here's the NEBA one. Again, it's a whole lot of Zentangle and drawing and layers. And then this one has a little bit different book. And it says, at the heart of it all, we're all book artists. So I guess she had a couple of different things that she wrote, and which is nice. And then another little collage with stickers with the pamphlet, nice little pamphlet stitch. I really enjoyed the ones that kind of played on the book a little bit. I never intended to do that, but maybe next year, if we do something like this again next year, which is a possibility, I might try to riff on book.
I need to interrupt. At the,
Oh, sure.
at the very back it says happy day. And there's another opening there that you need to see, Christina, at the very back, the square.
Oh, that opens?
It opens, and mine says a thing of beauty is a joy forever by John Keats. So
Oh, Your Bliss by Joseph Campbell. How did she know I needed to hear that?
yeah, so
I didn't notice that. Thank you for pointing that out.
I just noticed it. So here
I
we
see it
go.
the other one. I didn't even see that.
They give and give.
Let me open this one. This one says happy day. Let's open it up. This is the one that NEBA got.
Uh-huh.
May you be happy always, Honoré de Balzac.
How
You
lovely.
can't really read it from there, but yeah.
I hadn't
How
noticed.
wonderful. I'm so glad you noticed that.
Yay, more.
Yeah, I think that Suzanne's with the eye coming up and out, I think a bunch of people probably did not notice that was a pullout. Look how cool this one is with the purple and the heart and the eyeballs. That really goes in different ideas if you really think on it. I love that. I really do.
Mine's a blue one with the red,
Yeah.
and the back of mine is blue.
Okay, so this is Lorraine's, and again, I apologize for getting the two of them mixed up. So Lorraine's is it's the writing in the middle is in gold. Let me just read it. Life is a flower for which love is the honey. Victor Hugo. I don't know if, yeah, this is so blown out. Oh, wait a
Can't
minute.
see.
There,
There you go.
that angle is a little bit better. But let's just all of a sudden, oh, yum. Look at that.
And it's a simple wave cut.
It is actually super simple, but look how effective it is.
Yeah.
What a great pop-up. And then she's the backside. She's got our little logo here with like a sticker she created with the posted with love. And then it just says, Happy Valentine's Day, Lorraine Harton Gilardi. And she's out of Beacon, New York. She's one of those, you know, way the hell out the pike kind of people.
The writing is.
It's a very long way to go visit her, but she does come and visit. She shows up every once in a while. And so, you know, just because you're not in Metro Boston doesn't mean you can't come visit.
The art that she's drawn and the words are in a gold pen. So it's got this lovely sheen to it. And the paper she uses is also has a gold sheen. So it's got this continuity.
Yeah, but it's completely hand done. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Her handwriting is fantastic. I like her handwriting.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a really good one too. So over on the upper right, you're going to see basically a little book made with a heart. But even bigger than that was her envelope production. So I'll hand it off and let me stop sharing again. There she is.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Okay, so I got so excited. I had a few extras and I ended up sending one to my granddaughter, to my daughter, and to my mother. So I don't have any of the hearts left, but I have some envelopes and I have what I originated with. I didn't know what to do, and I tend to be really super minimalist. And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I thought what I was going to do was maybe make a little heart book. And these were my my little muses, I guess, the little hearts. My granddaughter came over with these. I used to watch her a couple days a week before she started full day kindergarten, and she claimed some of my studio area as her office. Since COVID, her mother's had an office at home, so she has to have an office wherever she goes now. But she came over one day and she said that she made these at, she's got 3 grandmothers, so at one of her other grandmother's house. And she came over last year at Valentine's Day. And I had these laying around and I thought, well, why don't I just try to use the heart that's here and try to make a book? So I traced them, and I actually have the paper that I made all the tracings from. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, you can see like the hearts that I cut out. So I traced them on the Canson Metientis. I don't even know how to pronounce it right. And I cut them all out, and then I nested them and folded them and sewed them in the middle. And here's my test thing, which of course isn't a heart, but this is what it's supposed to do. If you guys notice that your hearts are flat on the bottom, they're flat so that you can open it up and it can be like a little heart sculpture. So if you open it up and fan it around a little bit, it can stand up like a little heart sculpture.
I didn't realize that.
Thought,
I'm doing it right now. I was gonna
put a little instruction into it, and I never did. But then I got into like, oh, that's just too simple. Other people are probably going to make all kinds of fancy things. So what can I do? So I got the idea to make an envelope. And the envelopes, like, it's just, you take a piece of paper that's square and you fold it in half, and then you fold this part over, and then you like score it so that it's a third, and a third, and then you pull 1/3 over and tuck it in, and pull the other third over and tuck it in, and you've got an envelope. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. It was so easy to make. And so I made an envelope out of the same paper to stick the little heart into. And then I thought, well, I'm not going to just stick it into any old envelope to send it. So I had some larger paper, some 11-17 paper hanging around, which had a nice sheen to it. So I made bigger envelopes out of those. And then I thought, oh geez, because I used to work for a bindery and mail service years ago. And I remembered that there's certain sizes that you can't send through the post. So of course I went to the post office, and of course it was the wrong size. So I had to get hand cancel stamps. So I got those butterfly stamps, which are hand cancel stamps. So yeah, so it's just a simple little thing, which if this was a heart, you can stand it up and make it as a little sculpture on your desk. I also want to say that I thoroughly enjoyed all the Valentines that came in, but back to my granddaughter, who, like I said, provided the initial hearts. She was coming over one day last week, so I figured that I was going to hold on to all the envelopes and not open them until she was with me, because I thought she'd get a kick out of it. She loved them. She loved the little cutouts with the little girl and the little paper dolls. She loved every one of them. It was so much fun opening them with her. So it was a double joy for me. I got to see all the wonderful Valentines, and I also got to share it with my 5-year-old granddaughter, who got such a kick out of it. So it was awesome.
Very cute. The envelope, and inside the envelope, I was opening it and I was like, wow, this is, you know, I got this one before I got Suzanne. So I was thinking that you were going to win the packaging within packaging idea until Suzanne showed up. And I'm sorry, she dethroned
Yes,
you.
hers was no, hers was
She
awesome.
dethroned you.
I did get a kick out of putting all the little hearts around the envelope, though. That was a lot of fun. And then
Yeah.
when I got Stephanie's, I thought, wow, she even went even further by putting her hearts like all over the front of the envelope too.
Yeah.
It was just
And-
so much fun. It was just a nice experience to just, it's kind of like a Zen experience, cutting all the hearts and stitching them together and putting them in the envelopes. It just felt so good during this month of all kinds of horrible things happening in the world. So
Yeah. Thank you.
it was nice.
We're going to go back to our screen share for Susan Marsh. Hopefully she's not in a place that has screaming kids and she can join us now. And I'm going to rearrange a little here. Let's see, here is her first one. And let me see if she's with us yet.
I am with you.
Okay. I'm looking for your name here. There it is.
Here, yeah.
Spotlight. Let me replace the spotlight. There she is.
Here I am.
Awesome.
I am in beautiful downtown Woodstock, Vermont. We just went hiking, so the cafe was way too loud, and now I'm out on the main street and it's pretty busy too, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me.
Yeah, so far
Okay.
so good.
Okay, good. So this year is the year of the robin for me. I joined a little group of 5 women around the United States, and we have an altered book round robin, and we call ourselves the Robins. And so robins have been very special to me this year. So I decided to send everyone a robin for a hope of a beautiful spring coming. And they're made out of Bristol board. And then the initial wash I did with indigo, madder, and marigold inks. And then on the next slide, I stamped them to make the textures of the feathers with handmade stamps. And then when you open the wings on the next slide, I think, oh, yeah, I used, on some of the birds, I used a stencil with a heavy matte medium, and some of them I used gesso, and then I put a wash of indigo ink over the wings. When they open up, they're a little bit different. And then the next one, inside I did a little airmail stamp, and then on the envelopes that I made, I also used some airmail stamps to send you all some love for Valentine's Day. And then on the next slide, each of the birds is carrying you a little book of love to show that I love all of you, and we all love books. So those are my little Valentines. And I just want to say how much I have enjoyed receiving everyone's gifts. All of the cards are just so beautiful. It's been such a treat. So thank each and every one of you.
Fantastic.
How did you make your handmade stamps? What are they made out of?
They're just I think if you go back another,
Go back
couple,
another one.
Oh,
go back
here.
another one.
Yep.
One
those.
more.
No,
One
that
more.
one.
There they are. There. It's just the soft rubber blocks that you carve.
So I think they
So
call
one
it, is
has
it
hearts.
linoleum?
Yeah,
Yes.
just a linoleum,
Okay.
the soft kind. Yeah.
Really nice.
I
So
love
those
the
are
heart shapes
those are the
becoming like
stamps.
feathers.
Yeah, the hearts looking like feathers is a beautiful insight.
Yeah. Just lovely.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be too overtly Valentine's-y, but subtly so.
I thought it turned out lovely. Very nice.
Thanks.
And they're very different. Each one is different.
Yeah, they're all a little bit different. Yep. I had a big production line of birds.
So when I was thinking on this idea of sharing them with other people, I remembered that I actually kind of was and not really realizing it. Like when I would go to the NEBA mailbox to pick up the NEBA mail, I usually had some other thing I had to do. So I would go to the counter, and it may sound strange, but I have a relationship with one of the postal workers there because she used to be at Kenmore Square, where I maintained my photography business post office for like 20 years. And just seeing her the first time, she was like, "Oh my God, Christina." And so it was really kind of nice to like see that she's working there now. And so I started sharing the cards while I was standing there. I'd be opening my mail while she was, doing whatever else I needed. And so I got to share them with her, quite a bit of them, maybe not the entire series, but she just was blown away by the idea that people are actually sending a handmade card still. She said that she had seen a whole lot of people mailing like Hallmark cards, not in excess of cards, but like a few, and that it just really made her feel good to see that somebody was actually spending the time to make something by hand. That was not only just like, holy cow, that's really cool, and what an interesting idea. Never would have thought of making a card like that, but just the idea that they were just handmade in the first place just really blew her away. So she was super excited about it too. Yeah. Yeah, it is a special project. I know that, let's see, I think we went through everybody's. I wanted to end it just with the little short video that Stephanie made of just like the collection that she did. So I'm going to share screen and let her.
All right, here's it just for very short.
Did you open your happy day in the back? You get to do that too.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
That's a different Gale one.
Yeah.
Excellent. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know about that part that came out either, but I'm going to go do that after this meeting.
Awesome.
All
Very
right.
good.
It would be really nice if next year we had double the people and we could have 2 groups of 15 each. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't want to make 30 cards, even though Anya made 100. 15 is kind of like, "Ugh." But wouldn't it be fun to have 2 groups? And then maybe
If we have enough people to do it, to do 2 groups, I think it would be
Yeah.
fun. I already have ideas for another card, so yeah, totally. I'd be up for it. Yeah.
So thank you everyone for showing your cards and talking about them and giving us the background. It was really, really fun, and sharing the love we have with NEBA. Yippee.
Nope, wrong side.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Everybody.
Before we kick out, Nancer, you had an announcement you wanted to make. You want to go ahead and tell us what you have?
Sure. This is related to the zines that we were talking about in the beginning. After one of the zine workshops with Lori Moorhead, I kind of went online to figure out how many different versions of zines there were in addition to the ones that she showed us. So there are, you know, depending on how you fold it, there's like 43, depending on how many sections you fold it into. But I thought, okay, using our parameters, I found like 14. So I made models of each of them, and I'm teaching a zine workshop at my library in April, I guess, in which we're also doing a zine project, and we're going to do the 14 that are the same size as the general, you know, ox cut thing that we do, or that we've done in the past. And also, we also have a teen zine program. So I just wanted to mention that, because that might be able to, you know, cross fertilize and give some ideas to Christina going forward.
I would love it. Yeah, I love that. That would be fantastic.
And then the last thing I wanted to say is that first of all, I loved all the Valentine's cards. I really appreciate seeing that. And part of the reason that I've been sort of overoccupied is that our town has been one of these towns that's been targeted for book banning. And I'm also, as many of you know, I was also a lawyer. So I did a presentation to our school committee on that. And if anyone's town gets subjected to sort of the alt-right playbook and you would like materials, I'd be happy to give you what I created, because I didn't see anything in a package from either ACLU or Human Rights Foundation. So I kind of made it from the ground up, and it was really well received. And the school committee voted unanimously to support the librarians' decisions about both race and LGBTQI
Awesome.
books.
Do you want to make a blog post about some of this so that we can make
not right this second?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm
yeah,
kind of
whenever
behind
you
on a
get
million
around to it.
things,
It
but
doesn't.
I would, yes, definitely. I'll send you an announcement, because it would be great if somebody else didn't have to reinvent the wheel. And you know, I kind of listened to a lot of the school committee things and looked at what was being said on the other side. And it's definitely a package that's making the rounds in different states. So I'd be happy to have anybody who confronts it or who feels like they can make a difference in their town to use what I've already created.
I think it's.
May I ask what town you're in?
Totally.
Sure,
what
Medfield,
town are you in?
Massachusetts. Medfield, Massachusetts.
Medfield?
So, yeah. So it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't, you know, half the town or anything, but it can be a very vocal, you know, kind of strident minority can still have an overpowering effect. And it has really been stressful for sure on the librarians in both the town librarians and also the school librarians. So
And you're saying that certain towns are being targeted, selected?
well, there's a bunch of towns, you know, Fall River is the most obvious one, but there are a whole bunch of, there are like 30 towns where this has been going on in Massachusetts, which, you know, I was sort of blithely going along thinking, well, they won't bother with us. We're like one of the most blue states there is, but
You would think
that's
that,
just
right?
not true. So it wasn't exactly the same arguments as you hear out of Duval County in Florida, but they definitely have a playbook, and the same arguments are being raised in town after town after town by, you know, a very small number of people, but they have an outsized influence if, and they also claim things that aren't true. You know, they claim, oh, this is child pornography to have this book that has a scene in which there's gay sexuality going on in an otherwise, you know, book about, you know, lots of things included, but the character happens to be gay. And that's what originally got me incensed enough that I inserted myself into the process, because as a lawyer, I just knew that that was not
Yeah.
true, that it was a lie.
Yeah.
And that, you know, it was something that if the school committee doesn't have lawyers on it, they might not know. So anyway.
Yeah. I did want to tell you that I would like to also expand on this essay that you wrote for the Girl Scouts. Last day of the 3-day sessions is devoted to zines and self-expression and self-publishing with a zine. And Nancy wrote this really great piece, and it's not exactly titled "Zines Don't Care," but the way she has it formatted is like it's a repeating statement. Zines don't care if you're, you know, what a X, Y, and Z, you know, so it goes over a whole lot of different ideas that talk about how zines bridge the gap between like having a lot of money or not, or time or not, or something powerful and intense to say or not, you know, that it's like zines really are this expressive free thing that is really wonderful. And I would love to work a little bit more on expanding your essay maybe, or condensing it so that it's more like a list of bullet points. But I love the idea, and so did the kids, this idea that zines don't care. I know it's a weird kind of statement, but it's true. You know, it doesn't care if you got money or fancy, you know, word processing and, you know, Adobe Photoshop ability. You know, you can zine it no matter where you are, when you are, or how old you are, or, you know, there's just no limit really. So I kind of think that the spirit of that essay is wonderful. So thank you.
Okay, well, I think you're generous in calling it an essay, but I'd be happy to, you know, do a list.
Yeah. Zines don't care, man. Carolyn.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it my understanding, back to the Valentine's Day cards, it's my understanding that Susan Marsh was designing a container for
I
the
don't know. We haven't followed up with that idea yet.
And
I am indeed working on that.
Okay,
yeah.
And it's still in embryonic, but you will be getting one.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
It'll be a PDF that you can print out onto cardstock and make yourself, right? Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're not expecting you
Trying
to
figure
make
that out because it's
a bunch
bigger
of
than
boxes
the
for us,
normal
right?
card. Yeah.
That's a big ask for you to actually make a bunch of boxes too, like assemble them. But I'm sure
Yeah,
you're going to
do
do
that too.
fantastic. The little zine box, the last zine box with the red that's super cute. Super cute.
It is super cute.
Love it.
Well, so it's something that we can look forward to, where our zines will be, where our Valentine's Day cards will be contained by something. And honestly, I think that any of us could make something to contain these cards if we're that inspired to stay with our Valentines longer than, you know, this month.
Well, I'm thinking of
we
it
should
as a
call it a
collection that we
holding.
say. Yeah.
It's something that holds our Valentines. So it's a holder rather than a container,
yeah.
because nothing can contain our love.
No.
That's a lovely way to end this session. Nothing can contain our love.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
See you
everyone.
next time.
We'll be sending you information about the next show and tell for March. And we'll see you then, I hope.